they've been releasing some of the previously classified JFK files, and some information has come out in one of the files released, which I'll put up now, that indicates that JFK. Well, I'll just read it, but it basically indicates that he's acknowledging that we're known to spy on the Russians and their space program in this file, and he's kind of wondering uh, how are they supposed to differentiate our spy program craft from actual unknown UFOs, and like how they could possibly know if it's us or a legitimate UFO, and he wants to figure out how there could be a way to show clear proof to the Soviets that some of the incursions are not us. But let's read through this here. This is from President JFK. As I discussed with you previously, I have initiated and I have instructed James Webb to develop a program with the Soviet Union in joint space and lunar exploration. It would be very helpful if you would have the high threat cases reviewed with the purpose of identification of bona fide bona fide as opposed to classified CIA and USAF sources. It is important that we have a clear distinction between the knowns and unknowns in the event the Soviets try to mistake our extended cooperation as a cover for intelligence gathering of their defense and space programs. When this date has been sorted out, I would like to arrange a program of data sharing with NASA where unknowns are a factor. This will help NASA mission directors in their defensive responsibilities. I would like an interim report on the data review no later than February 1st, 1964. This was written November 12th, 1963. He was killed November 22nd, 1963. So, where he's not saying he wants to declass, and when he's talking about unknowns, I mean, you have to assume he's talking about UFOs there, or definitely could be. But yes, he was killed 10 days after that. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more coming out in the coming days, because they just released a bunch of it and they're still going to be releasing more. But I think there's something like 80,000-ish files. So the real super investigator types are going to go through this themselves. I heard someone ask President Trump, is he going to give some type of report breaking down his opinion of what happened? And he said, made a joke like there's something like 40 to 80,000 files. Like, he doesn't have the time to do that. But there are people that do and will pull out nuggets like this, that this does seem to indicate something that former Canadian Defense Minister Paul Hellyer told me in his final interview before death, that NASA knows a lot more about the unknown craft in our airspace than they let on. And that interview was done in 2016-ish. Here's a document where they're talking about wanting to share information about unknowns with NASA all the way back in 1963.